Hi guys, Dorota Palicka, International Nail Artist and Educator here, and today I'm in with my client. So she had those Christmas nails for about 5 weeks and we are going to tidy them up. I'm going to use the safety bit to remove this old color, and she's a Polish girl. And you can also see, guys, compared to the Scottish ladies we are doing in here, the nail folds of those nails fingers are absolutely different. Like we can do a little bit more drastic cuticle work. I wouldn't go as much on my Scottish clients, but here I will show you a little bit more work. So first of all, let's remove this baby boomer. It's actually a really nice sparkly sect, and to be honest, it looks still so pretty. So basically what I'm doing is I'm removing the only top coat, the glitter and the white gel which we have applied with the sponge technique. And because my client is going back to work, we are going to shorten the nails quite a lot and make them as natural looking as possible. Unfortunately with no design this time, but I will concentrate in this video how to prep the nails. So as you can see it, they look fantastic even after over a month of wearing them without of hopefully lifting. We'll see as we go, as we get on. I'm working on a pretty nice and low speed, just to don't cause any trauma to the nails. And I love the safety bit because you can work very close to the nail folds without of risking on catching the client. The e-file I'm using is a Melodysusie e-file, the one which I was testing, the pink one, and it's absolutely awesome one because it's a lightweight and it's nice and quiet. I'm also thinning out the free edge a little bit because we are going to shorten those nails. And then remove the product from this one. And actually there is no lifting, so this is a right hand, and usually the right hand is the hand which is used the most. There we are. They look so nice and pretty. Actually, she's got amazing natural nails as well, which obviously make my job much easier. I'm trying to work quite nice and smooth so I don't have lots of filing later on. So just get rid of that. And then I'm going to do it exactly the same on the other hand. I will actually try to don't cut through this video unless we get really big disturbance, like because I'm in a salon, so there might be some phone calls going on or people coming in. But I also want to show you the real time, because especially when you're a new nail tech, time is a big issue for everyone. Like we want to do as fast as possible, but also want to keep the quality of our work. So I'm going to show you those real-time nails. Obviously the recording sets always takes a couple minutes longer because I'm trying to concentrate to show you as much as possible. And also, guys, thank you so much for 100,000 subscribers. Like, we really appreciate it. I was hoping to do maybe a live video. Yeah, I hope we really do a live video. So thank you so much for that. Another thing which I have to say as well, I do apologize for any delays. I was actually mentioning it to my client as well, that I'm so upset that there have been so many delays on the parcels which we have posted out to you. So big apologize, guys, and thank you so much for your patience, because unfortunately Royal Mail really disappointed us this year for such a busy time of the year. Like before Christmas, they had lots of strikes going on, and then their system have been down, so at the moment they even don't accept any international parcels. But we have changed the courier to a different one, and I'm hoping that this one is not going to let us down, and we will be able to get your orders as fast as possible on your way. So yeah, I do apologize for that. So we have removed all this product, and now we are going to do the cuticle work. And for the cuticle work, I'm going to first of all remove the dust so I know what is going on those nails, and then we are going to gently push back the cuticles. So I'm just going to push them back. On all of them. And then we will do e-file. Okay, so nice and low speed. You don't want to force any trauma. And then we are going to work on the one side first of the snail fold and the cuticle. Like clean everything nice and properly. And if it's necessary, I'm straight away clean the nail fold a little bit as well, because I know that even if I will be filing like a crazy, I'm not going to hurt this client because her cuticles are quite nice and tough. Put it back to the reverse. I like all those cleaning parts. Really satisfying, especially when you see the end results. Don't force anything. And also you can see it, I'm working pretty flat with my bead. You don't want to poke the holes into the nail, and you don't want to put any pressure there. Like you want, once you clean it, you don't want to see any damage to the nail plate. Fantastic. So after this part is done, I can trim a little bit of the cuticle. So on some of these parts we will be able to e-file more. I usually kind of like to use my finger to push them back a little bit more, just so I can see it where exactly I want to trim it. The middle finger always has a little bit more in this corner, because that's from holding the pens and doing the stuff. So I'm always kind of give it an extra clean in that area there. I've got microscopic one. There we are. This one is nice and thick one. So some parts of the cuticles aren't like as large, and some of them are a bit bigger. So depending on the size of it, you would remove more or less. Okay, get rid of that. And then let's move on into the thumbnail. Okay, so move those cuticle. Okay, this one is quite nice to trim as well. And this dry parts I'm going to e-file, and I will show you as well, because this is something which I cannot do it for every client. I'm actually trying to do it on such as like weak cuticles would cause like bleeding everywhere, honestly, like so much damage. So I want to tell you with this video, guys, like if you go back and you search a couple of the videos from the salon and you will see some of my previous clients, you will see they've got completely different nail folds like and completely different cuticles. We cannot work excessively on every client. So some clients has to have like an absolutely minimal cuticle work done, and on the other clients we can go more. So here I've got a bit of raggy bit, which I'm trimming first. And a raggy bit on the side.
Bye.
Thank you, bye. Okay, perfect. So this part is done. We'll still have to clean the nail fold, and for cleaning the nail fold I'm going to use like a wee sponge, I would say, the buffer. I usually like to do this part after I have done all the filing, because it's also buff the area. Well, I'm going to do it a little bit now and then a bit more afterwards. I don't want to go overly again because we will be buffing those nails. We need to still shape them. Back to reverse and do the other side. So I'm kind of smoothing out leftover bits and pieces. I think the preparation of the nails is the key for a long-lasting enhancements. Okay, let's file them. So when you're using the file, always remove those corners. If I would go with this file like this, I've got it guaranteed I'm going to open the skin. So always remove those edges, guys. Like really properly. Put the fan on, and you wanted them pretty short. Which is a shame because we have grown them for some time. So I'm going to first of all shorten them one time, and then I will probably shorten them one more time when we do the final shaping. So shorten the free edge, blend all the product which you've got left with the natural nail. And then straight away I'm giving those couple scratches And this way, after I remove all the dust, my natural nail will be all ready for a product reapplication. You can also see the angle of my file. I'm going like this, so this way I'm also getting a really nice oval shape to those nails. Because obviously the shorter we go, the less almondy they become. Again, blend it in, just like this. It's a shame I cannot do the baby boomer on them again. They were so pretty, but they look pretty like this as well. You've got amazing natural nails, and thank you for letting me recording to show it to our subscribers as well, because it's a different type of the nail, like, you know, and I get those nails rare, like, to be honest, like I would say I've got maybe just a handful of the clients with such as good nail folds and beautiful nails, so I wanted to show you that. Now when we shorten the nails, the free edge becomes thicker, so also I'm thinning it out a little bit, because we don't want them to look bulky or thick. And the file I'm using is 180 by 100 grit, so you can see it. If I'm this side, what I'm working on now is 100 grit, so I'm trying to use sorry, it's 180 grit for the natural nail, and then the other, like, that's the 180 grit and 100 grit. So I'm trying on the natural nails using 180 grit. It's just a perfect one to create enough scratches. Okay, so again, angle of the file goes like this, and look what I'm doing. Basically I'm trying to hold, so the thumb supports the file there, and I'm just trying to hold it as the angle. Because I've got the angle, I'm also creating a nice shape of the nail. So basically all you have to do is to file them nice, keep the file straight, and that's it. And then just take off the corners a little bit to achieve the shape. So sometimes when we kind of jumping from place to place, and we can kind of misshape the nails because we don't know where we have filed and what shape we want to achieve. Okay, thin it out a little bit, and then another one. So for a free edge, I can swap, and I can use, because my 180 is getting more used, I can swap it and go faster. Also for thinning out the free edge, I'm on the grit 100, so again it's faster. I'm not trying to be perfect when it comes to shaping at this stage, because we still have to put a fresh product there, and when we will be putting those fresh product, we might misshape the nails a little bit as well, so no point to file that. Look how I'm holding the client nail as well. So I'm holding it underneath and I'm holding it on the top. So if you don't, look what is happening, like the entire finger is moving, and that can be quite painful because the nail is up there, like, so you don't want to do that. I'm just holding, and then I can file faster without of discomfort to my client. Give those scratches, and I find it when I'm doing a scratches like this, my file has contact with the shape of the natural nail, and I'm creating a scratches without of over filing the nail. Again, very useful tip, guys. So shorten it, thin out those free edge. Round off those nails a little bit, and then blend that out with the shape of the natural nail, so you don't miss places. And when I'm working at the corners, I'm really gently going in there because my file is quite sharp, and that's the most dangerous places for filing, guys. Okay, thin out those free edge. When I start doing nails, I wasn't thinning out the free edge enough, and then when I was applying the product, my nails was looking quite bulky because I had too much product at the free edge. And now when Olivia is learning, like doing a client, she's not learning anymore, I find it that this was causing some issues to her as well. She wasn't removing enough product from the free edge, and then the free edge could be a little bit too bulky. Okay, fantastic. I'm happy with that. So this is just my preparation. I'm going to remove any dust which might be on those nails. We don't want that before the product. I'm checking for any shiny places. So if there is any shiny places, it's a time where I can touch it up with the file. See, like in here. And this extra inspection is quite a nice way of making your nail prep. I do it all the time to get those extra inspection so I can make sure the things are nice. Then blue scrub to dehydrate those nail plate and clean everything in there. So dehydrate it well. Wait for it to dry. Remove some excess of the dust because always after the filing we've got so much dust. Now I can switch off the fan as well, we don't need it anymore, and we are going to apply an extra nail prep. So extra nail prep dehydrates the nails as well. There we are. Wait for it to dry, and I'm applying it on the sides as well because as the nail grow here on the side we have no product. Then universal air bond. So universal air bond is going to give me a good adhesion of the product to the natural nail. I make sure I apply it onto those corners. And we are going to make those nails last now 5 or 6 weeks again. Great. I'm going to use the fiber in a bottle in a satin pink color because that's the one we had it before. So basically what I'm doing is I'm just placing a nice and thin layer through the entire nail, like nice and thin layer. Cap the free edge, and then I've got leftover on my brush, and I'm just moving my apex, so I'm pressing gentle and then press very hard. Okay, so this way we got nice shape already there. Pick up another scoop of the product, nice and thin layer, cap those free edge, nice and thin layer here. I'm pressing quite hard doing those thin layers and cap the free edge. Now fill up the apex. So I'm pressing gentle and then I'm press harder to smooth it out. Another one. I'm also with the corner of my eye. I'm also watching how my product behaves on the pinky because I don't want it to run. So once I start feeling the product is getting runny, we are going to freeze this hand. Also, the less movement of the brush you do it, the less air bubbles you are going to create. I've got one in here, but I think I'm just going to leave it. Cap those free edge and then replace the apex. I also had missing product in the corner here, so I'm just adding it on and then remove the air bubble. I can still do the thumb, so look what I'm doing. The hand is almost straight. I'm first of all like applying nice and thin. And I'm twisting the thumb. This way you've got more time before your product starts to run. And I have actually heated it up a lot, so I had to remove the excess of the product from my brush to be able to remove this air bubble here. And then let's do apex here. I didn't pick up enough product, so I'm going to struggle. Fill up this side. Perfect. Oh, no, perfect. 1 nail too much. Perfect, cook it in. And I do the same on the other hand. So I have heated up my product really nice because we had 2 heaters on today. So it's nice and cozy in here. And as you can see it, my product is nice and runny. Personally, I prefer to work with the product which is nice and runny. But sometimes it's mean you can do 1 nail, sometimes you can do 2 nails, sometimes you can do a bit more. It's also depending on the temperatures of your client hands. The warmer they are, the less time you've got. Thank you! Okay, fill up those apex and press harder. Pull down the nail folds, cap the free edge, remove some black something. And then replace the apex. So this nail after this nail I'm going to freeze the product because I took too long with those black dots. Perfect inside. Thank you. Basically you need just like a really 3 seconds to freeze the product. I take it back. And then you can move on into the next 2 nails. By this time, by the time of the application of this hand, the other hand is cooked and we can start filing it. See, if I press too hard, I remove too much product. If I press less, I'm having little product. Perfect, change. Okay, let's shape those nails. So I can clean this mess, take a UV cleanser to remove the inhibition layer. And we can make them nice and pretty. Again. Okay, so put the fan on. Get rid of the product which ran on the side, and because I don't want to be filing my clients' nails like nail folds with the file, I'm using like a small bit and just going to file this uneven place. Okay, is that good length or would you like them shorter? Shorter. Shorter. Okay, so we are going to file those nails a little bit shorter. So here I'm working with the corner of my file, going up around the cuticle, coming down the way. Thin out the free edge and also remove any bits and pieces from underneath of the nail. Okay, that's plenty. I don't need to file this nail anymore. I will need to just check that corner. Next one. Thin out the free edge. Each time, every single time when you shorten the nails, you have to make them a little bit thinner. And when I'm thinning out the nails, I tend to leave them up like I did now, and I'm checking how my hairline, that's how you call it, looks. Blend around the cuticle area, and I'm happy with this one as well. It's not that they are finished, but I'm happy with the file work. I've got a bit bulk here, so I'm just filing a little bit longer again, because this side of the file is like a sponge gum, I don't know. It's like it's not filing part. I like to use that movement if I've got some parts where I have to file a little bit longer and I'm very close to the nail folds or cuticle area. And look, I'm not bothered about the middle. The middle is always perfect. The biggest challenges are always on the sides and the corners, around the cuticle area, at the free edge, and that's the areas you want to guys really concentrate on, because that's what gives your nails nice and slim look, and that's where we've got always troubles. Very thick at the free edge, we don't need as much thickness, so what I'm doing is I'm thinning out the entire free edge. And what I want to show you on this nail as well, my filing lines. So this part wasn't touched, that's the part of my apex, the shiny part. And then most of my work is done around the nail and at the free edge. Okay, next one. So and I kind of use the same filing technique even for any kind of nails I do. Concentrate on the sides because the middle is going to be nice anyway. Shorten it, thin out, blend it. When we blend the things like I do it now here, so that's, you are not going to be able to see it where the product is starting and where the natural nail is. That protects you from any kind of lifting and make your nails last much longer. Okay, so next step, buffer. So using the buffer, I'm going to buff the surface in the middle. I'm protecting my client's folds, one side, other side, and I'm just filing in the middle. So I'm not going to the sides, I'm really filing in the middle. Just like this. I can also touch up the free edge because there is always some messy bits and pieces underneath. And with this buffer I can buff quite fast. Also look what I'm doing, I'm twisting the finger this way, so I can go one side, I can go other side, and my hand with the buffer usually stay the same so I can control it. So I'm only smoothing out middle. And now a final bits and pieces. So we are going to grab the gray buffer. And then with the gray buffer, I'm going to buff everything around it. So with the gray buffer, I'm kind of pushing back the cuticle even more. And I'm blending those kind of lines, so I'm almost brushing away everything like this. Because I'm brushing things away, like dust particles and bits and pieces, I can see it also how my nail look. I'm also filing it underneath as well. So everything here, see there is a bits and pieces, everything here is gone. There is no catchy things and the entire free edge is really nice and smooth. I'm sure I've got something there. There we are, I knew it. I've got some stuff to remove in there. This has to be gone. And then we can do another nail. So I'm really brushing things out, blending here. You don't want to be seeing where the product is. And also I'm kind of cleaning my nail folds as well at this stage now. Again, I'm not happy with this side here. Now I can see it, so I'm taking this file and I'm giving a couple more scratches there. Make sure the free edge is nice and smooth, there is nothing catchy. See, I got the raggy bits and pieces, so instead of taking the file, I have just buffed it away. Fold it, smooth out those free edge. And to be honest, those nails, I believe they could just grow out from the natural nail, like the product. They would easily last, I don't know, 8-12 weeks with no trouble if they done this way. You cannot even almost see it where the product is, and believe me, there is quite a lot of product in there. And this is a sponge buffer. Actually, amazing question, guys, amazing question. So the question I got, it was if you're using what grit are you using the buffer and what grit are you using the file. So I'm using 100 by 180 file and 100 by 180 buffer. And cameraman says to me as well, like, this is actually awesome question, what is the difference in between? So buffer is smoother, isn't as sharp as the file is, just because it's like a sponge, so it's not as rough. Even if it's the same grit, because it's a sponge, it's never going to be as rough as your file. Okay, blend it in there. And again, here I've got the parts which don't hurt. That's why I can file it like this. Now I have created some air bubbles here. So usually when you take a blue scrub to clean those nails, the air bubbles might be gone. Like maybe in this case. If they're not gone, I take a top coat, and with the top coat I'm going to fill them up, and I'm going to show you that, guys. Actually they are top coat ready. So I would clean it all like this. Then I would take my cuticle nipper. Yes, again. This is the step, usually you guys don't see it. I'm not happy with the pinky. So I'm not happy with the pinky, and I would just touch it up. Fantastic. Clean it, clean it. Then take a top coat. I think these holes are not going to come back, so I can just straight away put a top coat in there. Cap the free edge. Cap the free edge, and by the free edge I mean the sides as well. Make sure there is no dust particles. So what I'm doing now is I'm checking how the light is reflecting on those nails. And another one. So normally what I do for this service, I book an hour treatment in case if the clients want design. In this case, we are not going to do design, so the appointment is a bit shorter now. I've got some hair or something in there. I just use the cuticle pusher to scrape it away, and hopefully it is gone. Then to don't put it back into my bottle, I'm just cleaning it on the wipe. And do it on the thumb. And then I can show you the final results. Oh, I missed the top coat there. Great, kick them in. Okay, so let's check those nails. We have to clean them nice and put the cuticle oil. So just clean everything nice. And basically I will do all the clients like this for the fiber in the bottle. So my application is all the time the same, with this difference that we will just place some design on top of it to finish the look. Once you have done the nails, and if there is anything you might be maybe unhappy with, just take a file and touch it up. Apply cuticle oil, and that's those natural nails finished. So yeah, I hope guys you have really enjoyed this video of more of the kind of theory rather than the nail art part. Let's clean this one. And I'm sending you very, very glittery hacks, and bye for now.